Welcome back. We have a tough one coming up next. Wolves at the Molineux, another away game, and I don't really have much hope for us in this game. We will probably be lucky to get a win. If we put in a good performance, we can get the win, I'm sure. But right now, for this game, where we are, I don't really see it because it's quite easy for some of these players just to turn their backs on the manager and just turn on the game. They can easily decide to phone it in if we are 1-2 nil behind because Wolves are capable of getting us, I won't say at our worst, but if you remember the home game we had against them, we could have conceded quite a few times if they were more clinical. That game we could have lost if it wasn't for Varane's excellent header close to the end of the game to make us get the 3 points. And that wasn't really where Onana started with his shakiness, but he had some questionable moments in that game. So already there is a question mark. I mean, who comes in to start on Thursday? We'll speak about my starting 11 later, but I want to focus on the Wolves, who are right now in good form. Their last game they played was in the FA Cup and they won 2-0 against West Brom. At their home, for their form alone, they've got 4 wins and 1 draw. And that in itself leaves us with a huge task. Yes, we won Burnley away. Yes, we won Everton away. Played some good away games in the Champions League at Copenhagen, Bayern Munich, and Galatasaray. You know, we managed to draw at Anfield. You know, another tough away game, if not the toughest. But Wolves is different. And with Gary O'Neill and the way he sets up and the type of players that he has, they have been doing well. And they haven't really felt the loss of Mateus Nunes to Man City. They've managed to still have some good form. 11th in the Premier League. You know, for a club like Wolves, that's kind of where they want to be and maybe more up higher in the table. But they're not that far from us. And with Newcastle getting a win last night, we cannot afford to not win tomorrow night. We need to get into that top four. Aston Villa got the knock. We were quite far behind them, but we need to close that gap because they are in fourth place. We have the likes of Arsenal that we might end up chasing. They won last night as well. We can't lose. We can't draw. It's not going to help us. And if we do draw, it's going to be more tougher for Ten Hag to keep you sharp. If we lose, even more so. Those Ten Hag outers are going to start screaming from the top of their lungs, standing on top of rooftops, Ten Hag out. Now, of course, I back Ten Hag, but if results continue to be bad, then I also will start questioning him, as any fan would. And it's quite difficult to see light at the end of the tunnel if results continue to be bad, even with a strong starting 11. Against Newport, we were not convincing, as I said in my previous video. We looked quite embarrassing, wasting chance after chance, not finding Hoyland, our striker, our only striker, not even our only fit striker. So we can't afford ourselves wasting chances against Wolves, especially early on in the game, because they will have high energy. They will want to press us, but they will also be smart enough to sit in a mid block to hit us on the counter with absolute pace. With the likes of Pedro Neto, Mateus Cunha, you've got the likes of Nelson Semedo coming from fullback, Ait Nouri. These are players that can absolutely cause us trouble. The likes of Mateus Cunha already caused us trouble in the first game, running through our midfield like it wasn't there. And Casemiro played that game. So we need to be mindful of the fact that Wolves is not easy, especially away from home. They've won City. They've given Liverpool a game. I'm not sure. Maybe they've won Liverpool. I can't remember really, but I do know that at home, Wolves is quite a formidable team, and they will come at you. They will attack you when they get the opportunity to do so. And Molineux is a stadium that gets loud when Wolves is on it. And to be fair, some of our players can't handle these types of environments. They can't handle these types of loud stadiums. So the team that Ten Hag puts out, it's quite key, it's quite crucial who he decides to go with. You see in the thumbnail, Rashford back for selection. The last time he played against Wolves away last season, he was dropped because he was late for the team meeting, if it was only by a few minutes. But he came on in the second half and he scored the winning goal that made us get the 3 points. He spoke on the pitch after apologizing. It seems like history has repeated itself with him last last week having his off-field antics, being dropped for Newport County. But as per various reports, David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, James Tucker from the Telegraph, Fabrizio Romano, and also from the club, most importantly, they said that Rashford is back for selection. He has been disciplined. He will be fined 2 weeks of his wages, as I said in my previous video, which was a rumor but is confirmed. And he also is available for training and, of course, selection for games once again. Now, do you also bring in Mason Mount, who might be fit again? I'm not too sure. It was said a couple of weeks back that he's trying to get back to be fit for the Wolves game. We will have to wait and see if he's going to be fit and part of the squad. Onana, another question mark over him. He made his way back to Manchester, and we know that according to Ten Hag, according to what has been seen this season, he is our number one. But does he start against Wolves on Thursday? I certainly would not start him. That's just my opinion. That being said, let's go into the starting 11 and talk about the team that I think Ten Hag would go with. And honestly, I think he would go with the exact same team, but I would make 2 changes. I would take Anthony out of the team and bring in Rashford. I think that's only fair. If you think about it, who would you choose between Anthony and Rashford right now? Anthony might have gotten a goal and an assist against Newport, but that doesn't mean that he had a good performance. As I said, his performance was not that good, failing to find his striker and all that. But if you have to choose between Rashford and Anthony, you're going to go with Rashford because you would expect more from him. And that being said, Rashford alone, I demand a performance from him. He had bad off-field antics. He was disciplined behind the scenes internally. And if he is and will be back available for selection, as it has been said, then I expect him to have and come in and have a good performance. Show talking on the pitch like he did last season, as I said, against Wolves. He needs to have a good performance, because if he doesn't, then Ten Hag will have to make changes. And then question marks will be put to Rashford because of his attitude, because of his application since he signed a new contract. But this is a critical game for us, because we have West Ham coming next, who's also another massive game, if not more massive. But we have to get a win against Wolves. And we need the likes of Rashford to step up and be that Rashford of last season of scoring 30 goals and winning games for us single-handedly. And the reason why I would go with him is because him, Hoyland and Garnacho have been our best front three for the past few weeks before Rashford had his off-field antics that made him not be available for Newport. If you also think about it, this is our strongest starting 11. Well, you have question marks, on Bayern and Onana, who is the number one. But other than that, this is our strongest starting 11. I think Ten Hag would probably agree to that. I think a lot of you as well would agree to that. And if we can't perform with this particular team as our starting 11, our strongest starting 11, then there will be questions asked of Ten Hag. And then you probably will understand if Sir Jim, Ineos, Omar Barada, etc. start looking for another manager. Who that might be, I am not sure. But this is going to be a tough game for us against Wolves, and we certainly have to be on it. Because if we are not, we're probably going to lose. They have the ability to counter us and score goals. They have the ability to score from set pieces. There is quite a lot of threats that they have, let alone the individual qualities with the likes of Pedro Neto, as I said. But we certainly need to have a good performance. Not just a good result, but also a good performance, because we can't continue to get results of bad performances. It's going to bite us in our butt at the end, and we're certainly going to feel it in the long term and start losing consecutively, consistently at that too. So we need to start having good performances. And a game against Wolves, it's perfect for us to also to play counter-attack. We have the players to do so. Will we do it? I'm not too sure. But we'll have to best try and see what Ten Hag would go with. A counter-attacking type of play, or is it going to try and dominate possession and press them? Which means they might be able to, get in behind us. But the likes of Varane and Martinez surely are able to play with a high line. So it's a tough game. It's going to be a really, really tough game for us. And if we get a win, it's certainly going to be a good win and a good result for us. Thank you for joining me in today's video. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I appreciate you guys, and I do, and I'm thankful for the support. Enjoy the game. Till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.